Oops. Let's see. See if it works now.
Does my voice sound
Oh, there we go.
different or no?
There we go. I think that should be up now. I pushed the button, but it didn't push the button, I guess. I've been here the whole time talking, and nobody could hear us. What a horrible existence. 5 minutes of talking, and no one could hear it.
Yeah, that's right.
Hello, Aaron, Paul, Captain, Esmer, Mad Titan, Spud.
I'm using my iPad this time instead of my phone. Maybe that'll help with those stupid
Welcome to the stream.
connection issues that I was having with my microphone. I sound like such an asshole to everybody. I'm just talking over everybody, and I don't even know anybody else is talking. I was like, oh my god, I took notes off my playback and off the playback from that last live feed or that live session we had, and it was like, dude, I sound like such an asshole.
Garden in the house, Decker.
I'm just interrupting the shit out of my brother. I'm interrupting the shit out of everybody, but on my end, no one's talking, and I'm like, oh, I'll just go.
It's all right. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so, wait, who do we all have in the chat right now? Let me see if I can figure this out. We got Amanda, Blizz, Chaos, Coffee, Smitty, and Spud in the chat currently. Some other people might pop in and out throughout the night and whatnot, so. Oh, I was saying before when I was live, but not quite so live, that I think that you are right, Esmer, that Big D probably had the best opening. Thank you, Aaron, for, I'm pretty excited about my opening.
Huh.
Greetings, Jay. Greetings, I Drop. Baller Bow, a.k.a. And Andrew Smith. Alright, so the item of the night is Dev Diary. We have the last two portions to talk about here. We had just the other night this is Contest Evolved. That's not the one I want. Let's go back to this one. The Champions of the Contest release, which I personally, up until the Quality of Life one, this was my favorite. Just the way that it was put together, what they had to say, and then just in general the flow of the whole thing and what they planned to do seemed the most put together of anything that they had put out yet. So I'm not sure if they planned it that way. They knew that these ones were the more flushed out announcements of the group, so they left those for last. But I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty excited about both of these two announcements here. I won't read it word for word or anything, but I suppose the big ticket items would be, scroll down here, champion balancing, probably key item number one. Looking to add value to underperforming champions. Champion update, strike team to focus just on this. Nerfs will occasionally be necessary. That's whatever it is. I think that's always a necessary thing at times if something's not right. And primary goal is to buff up bottom end of the roster, etc. So, buff roadmap. There's 4 different types. Champions that are good enough for now or better, balancing, tuning up, updating, and overhauling. And they're going to put them on rotate. So, what do you guys have to say about this? Who wants to chime in first? Nobody? Of course, maybe I can't hear anyone. Who knows?
I can hear you. I was just waiting for somebody else to go.
Oh, that's polite.
Ladies first.
Yeah, I liked this Dev Diary also. I thought it was one of the more detailed ones that we've seen, and when they were vague, they acknowledged that they were being vague, which was cool. And yeah, I mean, I think my biggest takeaway is that they're acknowledging that there's plenty of champs that are pretty much useless in their current state, and I mean, we all know that, but I think it's great that they have a plan in place to start working from the bottom and start rebalancing. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I agree completely. I also agree with the fact that this is probably the most well written, or the one that gives me the most hope. I suppose you could look at it both
Mm-hmm.
ways. Um, the last couple that I have seen have really been hit or miss, and it's mostly been miss.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the AW stuff, which
Right.
continues to be a problem. But that's not what we're talking about right now. But the this does give me hope. The rebalancing thing gives me a lot of hope. The fact that they even said, "Oh God," something like along the lines of that Falcon is awful in their dev diary, makes
Yeah.
me so happy.
Hallelujah.
Lord Jesus, no, like it was just amazing. Like there are like five main ones that I would choose to buff first, but I agree completely with the Magneto buff. That's been always like a like puzzling one for me. Like, why is he so
Mm-hmm.
crappy in this game? It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. I read the thing today where like the white one was going to be for certain type of things, and the red one's for another thing. Like he's going to go for metal stuff. I don't remember where that was. Was that in game?
I don't think that they said anything specific about his changes. The only things
Yeah,
they did
there's.
say,
I don't know.
which
I
Yeah,
saw something.
they said that I don't want to like do his. Oh, here it is. Regular Magneto will focus on his villainous side, hunting enemy metal champions, and Magneto
Yeah,
Marvel now will focus on his redemptive side, enhancing metal teammates.
yeah.
oh, okay.
See, so one's a utility. They're creating a utility version and then a flat evil version. But that's pretty
Which I
cool.
like that they're not just
Yeah,
giving them both the same type of rework. I think
yeah.
that is pretty
And
cool.
the one thing that I could say to that is, okay, great. A little too late on the fact that you buffed Colossus, but not Unstoppable Colossus. Why? So like I never understood that. So maybe they had this plan all along where they were like going to look at that. Maybe that's one down the road that they're going to do, especially for how much he costs for you to get him. You would think that he would do
Right,
something
yeah.
better than just the original kit by now. But whatever. But the champion buff's great. The plan looks solid.
Yeah. I also like how it's not just like a flat like, oh, we're gonna be reworking all of these champions. It's overhauls, tune-ups, and updates, which I think is
Yes.
appropriate for, not every bad champ needs a total like rework of their kit.
Like yeah, for sure. It's like some of them, like what did they cited a couple. They cited a couple of them there. I don't have that pulled up. I have the other one pulled up, but not that one.
So what they did say was that for upcoming changes, gosh, I lost it. But like Falcon and I think Gambit are ones that aren't getting like a total rework,
Yeah.
but they are having like updates done, which could be super game changing for them.
I can hear myself. Somebody's got their thing turned up too high there. I can hear our feed in the background. It's weird.
Can you hear me?
I can
Yeah,
hear
it's
you now.
it's
Yeah.
you. It was you now.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Hi.
I think my Discord was
There you go.
muted from
Start
my
turning that
microphone.
up, jam that, they wouldn't be able to hear me. Dog's got
Okay. So, um, let's see here. The next portion. So yeah, one
Yes,
thing.
this is Spud.
Hi Spud. One thing that I think that I would like to see in terms of like champ buffing or nerfing would be similar to another game I played, which was Destiny 2. And what they do is, like, every season they would kind of go through and they would, buff one meta of weapon and then nerf another one a little bit, and then every, basically 3 months they would kind of fluctuate. But I don't know, basically it's something similar to that they're doing here, where they're just going to kind of keep moving old champions up to the meta, and then I imagine that through that, inherently other champions will kind of fall behind, and then those champions will get buffed up again, and it's just kind of a non-stop flow. And if they can actually keep up with it and, do a good job at making older champs useful, it will definitely breathe some new life into the game and the champs, and it'll kind of eliminate the need to constantly be pushing money into trying to pull champs from Cavaliers and whatnot. So I think that's good for like free-to-play players and even the pay-to-win type guys who have all those older champions and whatnot too. So
yeah, there's a lot of talk between this. It seems like lately there's been a lot between what they're going to do for free-to-play players and then what they're going to do for pay-to-win players. And like those pay guys are always going to have an advantage because they are paying. You are supposed to get what you pay for. Will that happen every time? Probably not. You have to be kind of selective with what are these offers that you're going to even go after. It's a no-brainer that the people that pay to play or pay to win, whatever you want to call it, will go after all of these offers that were today. It's obvious. But those intermediate ones, they're like, oh, for a mere $99, you can get 5 sticks, 5 generics 6 stones and a chance at a 5-star champ. No. I don't even look at those as irrelevant. I'm like, no, that's not going to ever happen.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of talk about what happens to the infrequent pay-to-play people like me. Today I bought the $10 one or whatever, but that's all you'll buy. Some people don't even, they might just buy one thing a year. Today is the day.
Right.
But,
right.
I know a lot of players that only buy twice a year. Today and Sunday.
Right.
Or second week.
Because you get the biggest bang for your buck for whatever you're going to purchase. So exactly. It makes sense that if you're going to do it, that those are the times to.
Do it.
There
isn't a lot of talk about that. Sorry.
They're also adding in, the oldie but goodie champions finally, with some semblance of announcements. Obviously, we've already seen Wolverine, and then their 5-star Scarlet Witch will be coming soon, sometime in summer, and that'll be a big one. I'm sure that will draw the eyes of many players for trying to pull her from Cavaliers. I'm sure they'll drop lots and lots of cash on trying to pull her in units.
And then we'll start seeing her in AW defense.
Yeah, I imagine a 565 version of her sitting on some nodes will probably be a pain in the butt.
It's going to be a real pain.
Yeah.
Because she has some weird mechanics that are not easy to necessarily deal with. So.
Yeah, that's a fear. I have that fear. I wake up in sweats.
Yeah, okay. I don't think she's that bad.
I hope not.
I didn't know. No. But there's a lot of champs that I thought that they just shouldn't bring to 6 and 5-star. They just shouldn't do it because they're just so ridiculously good. I thought Scarlet being one of them. I thought, maybe they understand that that's just going to be overpowered. That'll wreck the game. Well, we'll find out, I guess. Bringing it.
I don't think so. She's no more powerful than many, many champs that they've created since her. So.
Yeah. Comparatively, she's not going to be as strong as a lot of the other champions are.
Yeah.
She's still relevant as a 4-star champ. She may be one of the only few 4-star champs. You bring her in as a 6-star. Could you imagine having a R3 6-star version of her?
Yeah. Well, I think they've already kind of.
Well, they
Good load.
kind of have to since you're limiting champs in Act 6 and Act 7 or
This is
Book
true.
2. You won't
Right.
be able to use 4-stars anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna stand pat on the not releasing some champs as 6-stars thing. I just don't think that some of them will.
Would that
Not
make
anytime soon.
Variant 1 relevant again?
Would it make
Because
what?
wouldn't that then make Variant 1 relevant? Because a lot of people that I talk to don't even do Variant 1 because all the rank ups that you get are for the old champs, right?
Oh, yeah.
It
So
does add some
she's one of the
appeal
old
to it.
champs.
I'll say that much.
So it might make them go back and finish that up.
Yeah, that's true.
So I could see that. That'd be a reason. It's like, hey, there's not a lot of original champs that are worth damn anymore, unless they consider like the Hulkbuster or Colossus upgrades part of the original champ set. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I know that I have quite a few of those 2015 gems still sitting around that
Yeah.
I didn't have a plan for.
I think they really need to retroactively go back and just remove the gold cost to use them, because it's like, why would I want to use them? You know, there's not as much of a benefit. If they removed gold cost, I think it would significantly increase the use. Because I have like a ton of those sitting around. I imagine most people do.
Mm-hmm.
The 2015 ones, I don't think you had to have gold because I used my own Hulk pulser this last week and it was free.
Correct. Yeah.
The 2015.
The ones from Variant 1 are the only ones that have no gold cost. And I believe they still don't have a gold cost if you were to complete it now, which is why, like I was saying, like Scarlet Witch and adding in Wolverine and stuff like that will increase the value of completing Variant 1, because right now there isn't a lot of reason to. It's harder than all the other variants, and the rewards are essentially the exact same, so there's it would be the last item on the list of things to try to complete in terms of variants. What's up, Effect? How's it going, bud? Let's see, what else do we got? Okay, so I've got up on the screen the new crystals, the dual class basic hero crystals, which is also a pretty cool thing.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's nice because when you get, ultimately it came down to like when the pool gets as big as it is and it continues to grow, you have to have some way to try to get things that you want. I mean, the likelihood of pulling like a useful champ in general is pretty low, but in the likelihood of pulling one that you actually need is really, really low at this point. So that's super cool.
Yeah.
And I like that they're on rotation. I hope that they don't wait too long to implement that into the 6-stars. I know it might be a little early to do that now, but it would be nice to have that maybe even just like start it out with 3 and 3 or something like that for 6-stars, and then go to 2, 2, and 2 or something down the road, or I don't know, something. But it would be nice to be able to have that. I think they mentioned that. Did they say anything about the 6-stars for that? I don't remember now.
I think they said that they had a similar plan, but it wasn't really a priority at this time.
Right. We'll also be looking at 6-star as well, but expect it to be more limited than the 4 and 5-star options. So yeah, maybe like what I said, maybe it'll be something where it's like 3 and 3 and they rotate it every other day or something.
Yeah.
Improved 5-star and 6-star featured heroes, and yeah, like this featured hero crystal, I opened some obviously earlier today. It is definitely the best pool of 5 and 6-star features that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I said that to you on chat.
Yeah.
I was like, this one is the tits. Like,
if it's gonna,
at least they had to do something, because that last one
was bad. It was really bad.
It's a dumpster fire. I think I rolled only 1 or 2 crystals off of that featured the whole time.
This one, there's really, even the misses aren't that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Winter Soldier's like the only one, but even he's not that bad if you have the right synergies and everything.
No, if you give him the right synergies and the fact that I think if his signature is that high, it doesn't give a higher percentage that he'll cut the energy. So like he's kind of like the crappiest energy control champ in the game, but like I think that's how it works.
Yeah, the higher his signature, the better chance on a crit hit to drain power.
Yeah, so if that's the case, if I ended up with a 5-star WS out of it, whatever, I'll take it.
Pair him with Winter Soldier or with Killmonger.
Shoot, you go with what? Killmonger. What is that? A Killmonger. Oh God, Sabretooth. What is that? Unholy Trinity. Killmonger, Sabretooth. The Winter Soldier.
Void, Killmonger, and Sabretooth is what you're talking about. But I don't know that really. It's really just the Killmonger synergy that affects the Winter Soldier in particular. But I mean, that is a good synergy team in general.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
Bunny's freaking out there.
Yeah. Do Winter Soldier and Falcon have an existing synergy?
I don't know if they better.
I don't.
Well, that's something cool that they could implement too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
right,
in
they probably
the balancing.
Should.
Yeah.
Right. I do like how they've done a really good job of putting in synergies to kind of like bring up old champs in general. Hitmonkey's probably the latest in the pool of the ones that has some unique and interesting things that he does for other champions. So.
Yeah. One of the things that I always thought of is the original synergy kits were just super underpowered. So, if anything, if they just did that, if they left the attack kits and the specials alone, and all they did was focus on synergies and upgrading their skills, I'd be happy. But apparently it's going to be 3 ways. You know, if they think that the whole kit needs to be replaced, then sweet.
Yeah.
You know, I'll let them do that. But like Winter Soldier, to me, he's pretty cool. You know, I'm fine with him. He's kind of plain, but he's kind of a character. He is kind of plain. Cap. Plain. But they're still cool.
Hello, Ashley Booth. What's up? Also, who else joined a minute ago? Oh, I already said hi to Effect. The Wish Crystal. The Wish Crystal is pretty neat. Like they stated in the information that they gave out here, is that they don't really have anything in place in order to make that work yet. But the idea of being able to select a group of champs, and the way they laid it out is you would choose 5 champions from each class, and then you would be able to pull one of those 5 of each class, which, I mean, there's almost 5, God tier, beyond God tier type champions of each class that you'd pretty much guarantee yourself a good champion. It's just, still RNG based to a degree. So that's a pretty
I don't know
cool one if
it was just an example that they gave, but it sounded like they were going to apply that to like a certain type of cav crystal. Did you guys interpret it that same way?
It says a Cavalier crystal, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, I guess I assumed that it was a 5-star crystal type thing. But yeah, it does say a Cavalier crystal, but you choose 5 champions from each to make up the crystal. So you choose the champions, and then you pull a 3 to 6-star version of them. That's not as good as I kind of thought it was. Now looking back at it, I mean, it's not bad, but
no, it's better than spinning a regular cav.
Right, but if it's like a lot more expensive, if it's a lot more expensive, you're still just gonna end up getting the chance of getting a 5-star,
a bunch of 3 stars.
Yeah,
right.
I just see
3
that
stars of the champions
like
I want.
Whole Wish Crystal as being like just extra little things that make you happier. Like a quality of life thing almost, even though it's not in the quality of life thing. It's like
I see it as it really helping newer players
no,
also
I don't know.
who don't have
Maybe.
as depth of a roster.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's just a cool thing. I think it's cool. You know, at least they're trying something to make it, you know, updated.
Yeah.
Have the plain Jane. Here's your crystal. You spin it. It's got all these champs. Good luck. Something extra, something different.
Yeah, I would like that idea, the wish crystal thing, you know, applied to like just a general 5-star crystal. Because I mean, it's already, you know, you're guaranteeing yourself a good champ, but you're really not guaranteeing yourself the champ that you really want. I mean, reality is you're probably gonna have like 25 champs that you just kind of fill in, and then 5 that you actually want in there, and so you have a pretty low chance of getting them anyways. No better than
It's
you would
almost
have
like
in a regular
almost
featured 5-star or 6-star or whatever.
what you're saying. It's kind of like build your own crystal,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The wish crystal. It's like build your own thing.
It would be
It's
nice to
actually
see
not
that
that
as like a
at all.
featured, like a custom featured type thing, where it's like you have to spend 15,000 on it, but you get to pick the 30 champs that you basically want in there, or something like that, or I don't know. Yeah. So
If they really wanted to make money, they could put that as a sigil only.
Yeah.
Crystal.
I'm surprised that they haven't opened up more tiers of a sigil, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that it's coming down the road, but like a $20 type sigil, or you know, a $30 type sigil a month, where it's like
it's like $1.99, a $4.99, a $10.99, 20. I agree.
Can't choose more than one of the same one Titan. Can't just choose all Aegon as your 5 skills. Pretty sure you have to choose 5 different ones.
If you're doing it, you don't have to.
Aegon, and Aegon. Signature stones. Updating solo events. I believe that they had already kind of mentioned this stuff in one of the Dorky Dave things, where they're just going to kind of revamp some of the current rewards, basically, which is good. I don't think that I recall seeing a date necessarily on this. It was just kind of like the first step is to do it, but we don't. They didn't. Was there a timeline? No, I don't see a timeline.
Yeah, most of it's not going to have a timeline. I have always assumed not going to, but the fact that they're talking about it is fine for now.
I mean, and again, this post had a lot more direction as far as a timeline than any of the other posts we've seen, which is cool.
Yeah, correct. This was kind of what I was expecting from all of them. Like this particular one, the Champions one, I was expecting to see that from all of them, and just didn't really see it until now. So it is refreshing to see, and I appreciate the team at Kabam that put this particular roadmap portion together for that. So
yeah, agreed.
It's definitely, all of them need to take notes.
So, and then they did a pretty good job of their little outro here. It was nice and sentimental and whatnot. So that was cool too.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's about it for that. Did anyone have anything else to touch on for this? I mean, it was pretty short and sweet. There wasn't a lot to it, but as little as there was to it, there was a lot more to it than there was to the other ones. If that makes sense, kind of doesn't make sense. But
well, I mean, I think as we've learned going through all of these roadmaps, you don't need to have a lot of like fluff to get a point across.
Right. Yeah, it seemed like this one was more direct. It was more to the point, and it really highlighted what they were trying to do, and when they were going to do it, and how they were going to do it better than the other portions that we've seen. So
definitely.
All right. Next up, Contest Evolved, and there were some interesting things in here that I wasn't expecting to see, like the teams deal. So this one, what do we start out with? Quality of life. Sell from stash. That's a nice thing. Champion tag filtering.
I like that.
That's also an interesting thing. Dual targets, obviously, we've already seen, and then the dual target fight again. That'll be nice whenever they do that.
Yeah, that's nice.
They do say coming in the near future, so that's good to know. But yeah, sell from stash, like, I can't believe that wasn't already a thing. That just seems so easy that it just didn't make sense for it not to be a thing already. It was super annoying having to go back and forth when you're selling ISO, specifically.
Yeah, definitely. Super annoying.
Like, it's like an hour-long process of selling ISO because you're like, get rid of these, and then, like, if you have ISO in there that you want to keep, you're like, oh, filter those out, so then you're only selling, like, 20 at a time or whatever to try to get goals so you can rank up a champ, and it's like, oh my god, this is horrible. So.
Yeah, I was excited. That was one of the things I was like, oh, thank God, finally. I don't care about it. But that was like, oh.
The other one would be the champion tag filtering, which would have been really nice to have when they first implemented defense tactics that were associated specifically to.
Oh God, yeah.
This is long overdue.
Yeah, like that should have been a thing that you put in along with defense tactics, because everybody's like, I don't know, like, and again, it goes against their whole like, we want you to be able to do things inside the game instead of having to go to third-party apps. It's like, well, yeah, but then you put things in the game that, like, we can't easily get the information for inside the game, so we have no choice but to go to third-party apps, whether it be, like, CollectorBot or AMA, in order to figure out, like, who are defensive defenders. I don't know. I don't want to search through, you know, and go in and out of 16,000 screens to look at all my champs to figure out which one's which. So... that stuff's pretty straightforward. And then mechanical prototypes. So I'm going to need some opinions on this. Root. Has everyone read through this first off?
Yeah, that doesn't really understand it.
It kind of goes back to Marvel versus Capcom, if you remember that game where you could tag your player to come in and give you help.
Oh, I'm on. I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm talking about the route where, like, you lock your champion in a spot, basically.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's like mid-map kind of things that happen. That's how I read it. So, like, you like throw down a thing in the mid-map and locks a character in on that spot. I don't know whether they mean the map where you're going between nodes or when you're actually fighting, though.
So, no. So, the way that I interpret this is while you're fighting, there's a button somewhere that you can click that button, and you know how, like, normally, and I can pull up my game again here. Normally when you're fighting, if you stop holding down something, your character will kind of float forward eventually. They'll kind of, like, walk up to the other champion. The way that I interpret it is that they would not do that. They would be locked in place wherever it was that you pushed that button, and it would have some sort of tactical implications for your attacking into the defender, basically, like when they charge you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It's not in movement from nodes to nodes. It's actually
it's in the fight.
It's in the fight. So like you come charging at a character,
kind of almost,
opponent, and it roots you in. Kind of locks you there.
The way that I imagine it is kind of like Stark Spidey. So Stark Spidey has that taunt ability, and while it has the taunt thing in place, he kind of like stays stationary, right?
Right.
And he doesn't do the whole like approaching up to them. So like, if I back up, he'll kind of walk up. So like, I wouldn't. It wouldn't happen. Now, how that affects it, obviously, that remains to be seen, but they're saying a champion makes melee special attacks incredibly dangerous, makes dexterity a more powerful tool, and offers up some unique attack options. I'll be interested to see how it works and like what the real implications of using it are. because it definitely changes the gameplay a little bit. It also, to a degree, eliminates the usefulness of things like Taunt, where Stark Spidey does that whole little special ability. It's kind of like using his special ability on all champs, kind of. And then what's his next one? Volume trigger. Area of effect triggers are what they sound like. Large triggers, attacks, or defensive tools that affect a large area of the battlefield. Now, this is the one where this is more of like a map-based thing. And I think that volume trigger plays into sort of what they plan to do with Alliance Wars. At least I hope that's what it is, where you can, like, it says, imagine traps being laid, healing pads, spiked walls, or any number of unique interactions with the battlefield. Potential here is massive, and we're exploring everything the mechanic can do. So the way I see it is, like, you're setting up a defense, and they give you, like, a special node or something that you can put in that once someone enters into that fight, it affects, all the fights within a certain range of it and applies like a link node to them, kind of thing, or something like that.
I wonder if you could, like, do that in any game mode. So, like, let's say you're in AQ and you're on map 7 and there's one guy in your team that uses more items than others. If you could put in, like, a healing node on that guy's path, thus allowing you to finish, that would be great.
That would be cool, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like they're saying, it's almost like limitless what you could do with it if they apply it the right ways and whatnot. So.
Yeah, I think this is kind of another example of something that has a lot of information, but, like, we still don't really know.
Yeah, it's
like
very...
what they're saying.
It's so open-ended. I agree.
So, I mean, my initial reaction reading it was kind of like, well, what's the point? Which, like, obviously I can see what the point would be, but I just need, like, more information or, be able to, like, interact with it to really get it, I think.
Right. I'm not really sure what the point of Root is. Maybe just specifically to incorporate a new mechanic that they can then work new abilities around, because, like, right now all the mechanics are kind of like they've been there forever, so you can't incorporate new champion abilities or even refresh old champion abilities in ways that use those things in unique ways. But if you incorporate a new mechanic, that changes that.
That makes sense. I have to imagine that they're, like, running out of ideas on, like, what to put in a champion kit.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
at
you
this
run
point,
out of...
like, what else is there?
Right.
Yeah, like, there's a lot that they're doing, and then now they're talking about scaling it back and making it easier to understand. I think that they've kind of gotten to the point where they're, okay, we went the complicated route, that backfired on us a little bit, and now they're kind of reeling it in, trying to get alternate methods.
I wonder if this will be one of the new masteries that are still question marks.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah, that would make sense. That's already there.
Yeah. And, I mean, for, like, the volume trigger type thing, you could incorporate whatever that is into masteries, too, where certain people might be able to, have a mastery unlocked that when they place a trap or trigger item or whatever it is, that it applies different effects to it, kind of thing. So
it could be even class-based, skills apply this effect, mutant applies this effect.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll be kind of neat. But yeah, I think volume trigger specifically, I believe that has much to do with the future of, like, Alliance Wars and special game modes and things like that. And Root is more of a champion-based thing for future champions and ways to affect that for kits. So, and then moving on to what Spud kind of touched on, fight replays, whatever. I mean, that's nice or whatever, but, like, we already have that. We can do that through our phones for the most part. So, So the strikers, and yes, like you said, this is very, like, Capcom versus Marvel, OG kind of, like, arcade game style play where you have, like, a little, they show the Bishop with Gambit coming in and doing a little combo.
This reminds me of Super Smash Brothers a lot.
I just think it's an interesting thing. Like, imagine, for example, like the 6.2.6 champion fight, and you bring in champions for a path or whatever, and then you get to the him, and you don't have really a way on your team to, fill all the needs of that fight. If you have the ability of, say, like, you have Stealth Spidey as one of your teammates or something, and he can come in and then use his ability to, like, apply a slow to cancel out Unstoppable or whatever. That would be, like, amazingly helpful for people who have limited options or whatever. So I just think in general, like, that the possibilities are so high, but it's also a very, that's a very complicated thing. So I imagine it will, like, I think they even said it's more long term than anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, they said, like, don't expect strikers anytime soon.
Yeah, but that would be cool if they were able to implement that at some point. I think that would be a neat mechanic that, again, it's kind of like we were saying before about the kits, where it's like they're running out of things to put in champion kits. So, like, that's another thing that they can add in.
It would be really cool if you could actually physically tag an actual person in on that fight. Like, if Coffee and I were in excursions and like and you're and I'm having a tough time with a fight, and you're on the other side of the map in that game, when you're in that map with me, if I'm like, hold on, I can't beat this guy, tap you in, and you actually physically come in on my fight.
That would be interesting.
Crazy. But
sounds a little ambitious, Bliss.
Well,
that would be interesting. It would be interesting to see, maybe not like coming into the fight dynamically, like while it's going, but like if you had an item or something in Incursions where you get to a particular fight, and maybe somebody didn't pay attention to their node, and you had like an item where you could teleport and like swap spots with the other person, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You're like, oh, I can't beat this dude, and then swap spots, and then you can maybe do another room or two or something. And of course they could sell that item for money, so
yeah,
unit only offer.
Exactly. Unit only ability to maintain the teleport swap. Striker, and here's an interesting thing that I noticed. You could possibly equip a striker artifact on your champion. Now, they had said historically that they really didn't want to implement the like artifact or item based approach of an RPG where like you apply an item to a champion and it affects them in one way or other. But this seems to insinuate, at least to some degree, that if they're either A, thinking about it, or B, they're actually working to implement something where you can apply an artifact or an item or something to a champion in order to accomplish some sort of a goal.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that to me as well.
So it would seem to at least insinuate that they intend to maybe go back on that and look over whether they want to go that route again. I know it kind of plays into the Realm of Champions, because that's kind of what Realm of Champions is, I think. So I don't know, it might be pretty interesting, and that's another thing that they could implement kit wise if they have items for champions. Let's see here. Strikers can blah blah blah. A lot to do about nothing. After that, we've completed 2 full prototypes and now exploring surrounding systems. The how and the what of Strikers. We're going to take our time to ensure it reaches full potential and lands with all of the impact of Havoc Special 3. Alright, then we've got in the next 90 days. What is this? Remove the link. Oh, this is for Incursions now that we're on? Yeah, Incursions.
Yeah.
Remove the link from the first fight. That's nice.
Friendship bonuses and
yeah.
firewalls.
Yep. Yeah, all this stuff's kind of cool. The removing the link from the first fight is kind of nice because, like, right now, you can almost get stuck when you try to swap. So it's almost discouraged to even try to swap in the first place unless you really absolutely need to do it. The purchasing of 6-star shards as an option in the incursion store is probably the best thing that I saw in here, honestly. Because, like, you know, most of the people who are able to easily accomplish, 10 rooms of Sector 7 don't really care about the 5-star crystals that are in there. So to be able to get 6-star resources is a step in the right direction. New hacks will be nice because I really feel like there's just not enough. You see a lot of the same stuff. It seems like to me. Alright, yeah. Firewalls, checkpointing system for friends who play together regularly. Me and 9 with like level 100 friends. We're gonna have all the things unlocked that everyone. Hopefully they don't reset our friend levels. I'll be sad if they reset our friend levels.
No, yeah. I've been friends with Coffee for a long time.
Alright.
Oh, please.
We're not friends, we're brothers. Doesn't count.
Ready? You say something, I say something. Favorite actor? 1, 2, 3, go.
Nicolas Cage. Squad synergies. That sounds cool.
King.
Tiger King. Yeah.
Tiger King. No.
Call me Carol Baskin. Let's see here. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I don't think that there's incursions is any changes they make to it is fine. I mean, I don't think that I necessarily care a ton. It's not a. It's more of like a bonus game item, game mode than anything. So it's not like a core of the game.
I mean, I don't know if I'm in the minority, but like, I don't care about incursions getting updated. Like, I feel like no one asked for this.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is like the longest section of this whole post.
Agreed. I agree with you.
Yes.
I honestly, when I read this, I got to incursions, and I was like, okay, in the next 90 days, I read in the next 90 days, I started to read in the next 6 months, and then I just skipped all the way down past the incursion
just so
stuff.
Much.
And I was like, don't care, let me know when it's out.
Yeah,
and then I went down to leaderboards.
They just reworked incursions without anyone asking, and now they're reworking them again without anyone asking, and I just don't get it.
Yeah, well,
they're really proud of that thing.
So obviously, to a degree, it seems like it's a different team who works on like the incursions than the Alliance War thing. At least I assume.
Well, maybe
that's
they
what's
should go help the Alliance
and they're just
War
more
people.
ambitious.
They need all the help they can get.
Yeah, they're just a more ambitious squad. They're like, let's do this thing, and people are like, okay, wow, they're a real bunch of go-getters over there in the incursions team.
Well, they're in the wrong department.
Yeah, take those guys, put them in charge of Alliance Wars.
You definitely need to go back over to Alliance Wars and be like, okay, what are you guys doing wrong? Oh, everything. Let's just scrap this thing.
Put a halt on incursions in general. Move the entire all the people who work on incursions and just add them to the Alliance War squad and be like, let's troubleshoot some ideas here. Leaderboards for incursions. Oh yeah, we're still on leaderboards. This is still incursions. Nobody cares. Arena improvements. I was actually a little disappointed about the arena improvements thing. I don't know. I'm not sure what I expected from it, honestly, but it kind of sounds like they're trying to eliminate some of the mindless shenanigans that go into it, like the help requests, limiting screens in between loadings. shorter term goals are to make improvements to some of the unnecessary stresses in the menu interactions, like having to go in and out of fights to go like start next fight, and that just like automatically go to the next fight. I imagine is probably what they mean by that.
Yeah.
I am curious about, in the longer term, we're looking into new ways for players to interact with the arena's reward stream. I had mentioned at one point, and maybe it's a little too giving of, maybe it would be a little bit too giving of them to be like, oh, let you select champs and then like just have them fight and they give you points, but you don't have to actually do anything for it. That would be nice, but maybe that's too ambitious of a something in my mind. It's too player centric.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems to insinuate that maybe they're looking at something. So.
Yeah, I mean the reward system's the only thing that you really can do. Arena is arena, unless you made it like more like the only thing I could think of is if maybe they put 5 versus 5 instead of 3v3. I don't know.
That would be interesting. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily mind that.
I mean, like you already have the ability to do 5 in questing. Why wouldn't you just have a 5 in arena? Doesn't seem too complicated.
So, Paul, I'm not meaning like auto fight in the fight. Like, my idea, what I was thinking is like, rather than, and I said it in a past stream, I think, where basically it would be like, rather than, like, let's say I just don't even have time to even do auto fight or like sit there and like tap through buttons. Like, if I would just select like all my champs that I wanted to run that are at max rank or whatever, and I just select like give me points, and so you select them all and it's like push a button, it gives you the points that they would give you, or maybe a reduced amount of points that they would give you, and then it puts them on a longer cooldown for you to use, but then it just automatically gives you the points without having to actually do any fights at all. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, I kind of thought about that too, Coffee. I thought of a good way to do that.
You would also have to prevent them from refreshing, because it would...
Just don't give them multiplier. Just don't give the multiplier.
Don't give the multiplier.
Yeah, to get rid of the multiplier, do the standard cooldown, let it go through all of your guys, and just give the base amount that you would have. Maybe even just 2 of the 3 instead of all 3.
Right.
Be better than nothing.
Be better than nothing.
Right. For people that just can't grind, I mean, it still gives a significant advantage, like, in my mind, to people who are actually trying to go for a champion. It's not, especially if you eliminated the ability, like, if you do the auto-complete fight type deal, you can't refresh them, and then they're automatically on cooldown for a longer period than it would be for normally. Then, like, if you have time to fight, you can do some fights. If you don't, like, okay, I ran out of time to do my arena grind, select everyone that's left, give me some points, and then you can get some units and some gold and stuff without having to commit hours of your life.
You could also eliminate. You could also eliminate the people that use the auto fight feature for top rewards. So if you don't want to grind for, if you're just grinding for units or grinding for, whatever battle chips, then you're not really grinding for like the 3-star champion, for instance. Like, am I doing 3-star arena to have to get the 3-star champion? No, probably not. But that would disqualify you from the top rewards.
Right, like using that feature eliminates you from the leaderboard.
You would not be able to get any more points past the standard rank.
Right. Rewards. Not bad, but yeah, that was kind of like something I thought of. It would be nice, but like I said, it's probably too it's probably too nice to the players that they wouldn't want to do something like that. Because it's basically like giving you units and gold for essentially doing nothing. So
yeah, but it's also, that's at the same time you're basically you don't want us to sell champs, but you're not giving us a reason to use those champs because you're not coming out with questing for those champs. There's not enough 2-star and 3-star events. There's not enough variants that require that, like that last variant.
Right.
So why do I keep those champions on my damn roster then? if I'm not going to use them.
Yeah. Because you need to have that total base hero rating.
That would mean all of the time that I've kept those champions on my roster, that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to auto fight those guys and get a couple thousand gold. Whoop-de-do. Like, it's going to kill them to give us 15 units and 20,000 gold. Come on.
All right, and then okay. So speaking of leaderboards and brackets and all that fun stuff, they're expanding the 5-star heroes from the 5-star featured people who get that the champ from 150 to 300, which is good. They probably should have done that a while ago. I think that I know they had mentioned many times that they don't want to add another arena or whatever, but just seems logical that they're kind of moving in that direction. It's to me it's an inevitability, but it's probably further out than even 2021, so maybe late 2021 or something. We're going to be increasing rewards for near misses. I don't know what that means. It's very vague. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's...
I guess maybe like 300 to 450 might get like better than what is it now, like 2,000 5-star shards or something?
I believe so. That sounds right. Right, just increasing the rewards for those, the top 1 to 10% basically, or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, in general, I feel like they really... I was hoping to see something here about just in general changing the rewards, the rank rewards across the board.
Yeah, that's needed.
Because it's kind of underwhelming now. But yeah, that's what I was saying. I was a little disappointed in the arena announcement. I was hoping for something a little bit more than what they have here. It seems very generic and underwhelming to a degree of what they've decided to try to do. So it's nice, and it'll be an improvement for sure, but I'm not sure that it's enough of an improvement to make players who don't want to grind arena go and try to do it. So
yeah, I probably still won't.
Yeah, it's not enough to make it worth it. Yeah, it's just like it's very akin to the Alliance War changes that they just recently did, where it's like, oh, what's up, Ark? By the way, we know now Coffee Breath is at Dr. Ark. He has revealed himself to me. I don't have much of a life, but I have too much of one to grind arena. I'm not sure if you're talking about me or you. Anyways. Where did my window go? Cached filtering will be nice. All these things will be nice. Eliminating, I'm sure not fully eliminating, but at least to some degree eliminating the death matches. Auto select champions. That would be cool. All these things would be cool for like it is the quality of life. So it would be nice for those things to be implemented. Arena alternative. I'm not sure. Does anyone have any ideas on what they think this might be?
No,
it's
I have no idea.
Pretty vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, super vague.
Does anyone have any ideas on what they would want it to be?
I think it'd be nicer if they increase the milestone rewards. If you don't miss the top 10%, you still get 500 500 shards. It should be a little bit more than that. I'm grinding that high.
Yeah, it says noted fights. I don't know. Short of them coming up with a complete.
I lost Jar or Blizz. Not sure why. I don't know if other people are cutting out, but yeah, leverage some of our.
Yeah, was cutting out for me a little bit.
Yeah, everybody cut out on me there, just for a second.
So yeah, it might be maybe like a Gears of War horde concept. That might be, that's interesting. Noted fights, leverage some of our incursion tech. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they meant like the incursion tech for the noted fights, like where it's random nodes, like an arena where you fight in against opponents that have nodes applying to them, or if it's something like where you, as you go along an arena, you get like hacks or something that increase your champ's abilities or something. You have one fighter and you go through increasingly more difficult fights. Yeah, that would be cool. It would be basically a single player incursions, and I guess that thinking on it, then yeah, they had mentioned a while back when they brought incursions, or at the time dungeons, in, and they had stated that it was an arena alternative. So basically, I think that maybe they're talking about doing a single player incursions essentially. I didn't really think about that. But yeah, it would be interesting. You get one fighter and you just kind of go to town.
Yeah, it could be interesting. I mean, again, I just need more information. It's like so
Right.
vague. I have no idea.
Social progression from Kabam Karma. This just sounds to me like more ways to get like profile pics and stuff like that. I guess I don't really know what exactly they intend to do for social and vanity rewards. The only thing I can think of is like profile pics type thing.
Yeah, I could not care less about this, honestly.
I'm with you. I don't care.
I imagine that's ultimately probably for your top people more than anything.
Yeah.
Like the upper 0.01% that are like that's what they care about. I mean, that's why they spend as much as they do, is because they care about vanity and people seeing their name at the top of a leaderboard of who has the highest total champ score, strongest team, or highest prestige kind of thing. What's this? I don't think that I got all the way to this. I don't think I read through all this yet. The solo competitive mode, or the Raid Boss. Raid Boss started as its own mode concept, but we have quickly evolved it into the next step in the future of Alliance Quest. And we hope the tease from the Alliance post got you excited for more in the future. Bringing large-scale collaboration and epic boss fights to an all-new standard is something that we're incredibly excited for.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Alliance post got anyone excited for anything.
Not too much. Now, I will say, and I did mention it before, that I believe personally that the raid boss mechanic, they downplayed, probably to their own fault, how far they were and how much they put into it. Because, in my opinion, looking back on it, this whole year, to a degree, started off with the discussion of Galactus, right? And obviously Galactus is like a huge, like you wouldn't be able to have him be a champion in the game. So like he has to be a huge it has to be a special game mode basically just for him. So it wouldn't make sense for raids essentially to be something that's beyond this year, because I feel like the whole buildup of the year is just like last year. The whole buildup of the year was the Fantastic Four, and then at the end of the year you got Doom and Silver Surfer. The whole buildup of this year is Galactus and his kind of coming into the contest and asserting his will upon it or whatever. And then at the end of the year will be when you get a raid boss mode. And then that will be.
You could have been almost on point with that if they hadn't just completely thrown Dawn of X in the.
Right. I think I got.
Oh, hi. When did you get here?
Just now.
Like a couple of minutes ago that I finally got the baby. So.
Good job.
Somebody donate or something? What was that sound? Somebody did something. Oh, recent subscriber. Thanks for subscribing. Let's see, I can't read it from RY Lucky. Or, yeah, something like that. RY Lucky.
Somebody was
Lucky.
Somebody was talking earlier about, we're talking about having just one champ that you go ascends harder. That could be your boss fight, your raid boss. You only have one champ, and the rest of your ally only has one. You can't duplicate champ.
Right. Well, we know Apocalypse is coming, right? Basically.
Yeah.
They basically said it like Cody's saying. Apocalypse is coming. Professor X is coming. Basically next month, right? So that'll be super cool. I don't think Apocalypse will be a raid boss or anything. I think that raid boss is bigger scale than even Apocalypse.
No. Remember when I was saying like the three villains that they don't really have in MCOC? It was a while ago. I said Doctor Doom has got to, and Apocalypse has got to be, and those two nasty villains. So like I said then, Doctor Doom should be one of, if not the best villain in the game. When they make him. I think I said 6 months ago to you?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And now, look. So, it's starting to come.
You're a prophet.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we knew that Doctor Doom would be a thing when, just in general, last year when Fantastic Four was the theme. So it was just a matter of... it was a matter of when and how they were going to do it. And I think that they didn't really disappoint with him. I mean, obviously, he's not only just a solid defensive champion, solid villain of the contest, but he's just a solid champion in general for attack and everything. But yeah, so Cody is saying here, Probs Mystique. Are you saying that you think that next month is going to be Professor X and Mystique and not Apocalypse? Or do you think it's going to be Apocalypse as the second champ? Because they specifically said their rival, and I don't really think, in my opinion, that the rival for the two of them to try to defeat is Mystique. Let me go to the little thing here. Let's see how they actually said it. Champion tease. Okay.
Oh my god. Instead of Apocalypse
says
Galactus that's a lot. Apocalypse is deserving of an entire EQ on his
Well,
own.
it specifically says here, there's a reason we're working aggressively to have Magneto ready for the end of August. While Magneto and Magneto Marvel now already represent two polar opposites, there is an even more iconic duo that Magneto is a part of, which is obviously, in my opinion, Magneto and Professor X. And then it states, and which mutant can pose a threat to these two icons? And I imagine the two icons being Professor X and Magneto. So what mutant poses a threat to both of those two? Nobody but Apocalypse, in my opinion. Mystique does not pose a threat to them. And why would they want to have it ready by Forge?
Maybe Dark Phoenix, like a real Dark Phoenix, potentially.
I mean, shoot, what mutant can pose a threat to them? Legion?
Legion, for sure. Yeah. Legion be real. That's for real stuff.
Oh, so you're thinking that. Okay, I see what you're saying. You think that kind of like what they did with. Who was it that they did that with? I don't even remember now. What they did with like the Infinity War Thanos, where it's like he's a special end boss essentially, but he's not an actual playable character. So you'll have just those. So, okay, I gotcha. I understand now. That makes sense. I could definitely, I could see that being a thing, as opposed to him being playable. He is like just a big pain in the tuchus, and then maybe you actually see him later down the road as a champ. That makes sense. Mystique would be an interesting one. I would be curious to see how they implement Mystique.
I mean, are they working towards Onslaught?
Well, they could add a lot of champs, so.
I wish.
There's quite a few mutants that have yet to be added to MCOC that they have the option to bring in.
I mean, are they really working towards Onslaught then? Because if you bring in Xavier and you have a created Magneto, Onslaught is like the combination of both of them.
I just don't think that he's. Right now, I feel like right now they're in a lull because of, COVID and because of movies and blockbuster, releases being pushed back. And because of that, I feel like they've, potentially even pushed up plans to bring in characters like Professor X, like Apocalypse, simply because it's a very dull time right now in terms of releases, and they need a big name add to the game in order to increase desire. Because I mean they already threw Silver Surfer and Doom, and like what big name characters really are out there that are left that wouldn't be re-releases? And like, yeah, APOC and Professor Xavier are probably two of the biggest ones out there that are.
Yeah.
Puck and Shaman. Watch them do 2 Alpha Flight members every month until 2021. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so. Their little last excerpt here, Contest is here to stay, not an aging relic or a content service, but as a game full of exciting new experiences and an ever-growing community platform. And for a competition, we've loved the last 5 years, and it is our commitment to make the next 5 even greater. Thank you to the MCOC community for our feedback, discussion, and passion. Now it's time for us to get to it, and we've got a lot to do. And that is definitely an understatement if I've ever heard one. They do indeed have a lot to do. There have been, if they I wish that they would put more timelines and dates on things that they've said in these releases. But if they can, by even middle of 2021, implement everything that they've talked about in these, the game would be vastly different than it is today. And I think in a good way, if they're able to do all of that. Listen to your coffee breath. Quit being a troublemaker. Who do we have in chat still here? We lost Beardo, I think, at some point. Does everybody in the chat still hear me? Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? You're here to watch for the 4-star arena grind. I was actually doing 5-star arena grind before. I think I lost everybody. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
I'm having glitchy Discord voice issue.
Yeah, me too. I just left and came back.
Interesting.
It's been like that for probably about 2 minutes.
Yeah, Discord is not known for its excellent.
The real coffee. Oh no, who's the real coffee now? We've got too many coffees. I've got Coffee Breath, the real coffee, and then of course there's me, who is the actual real coffee. I don't know who all these people are anymore.
Yeah, no, like everybody's saying, you can hear me on the thing, but like the Discord voice system, the admin voice thing is not awesome. And so on the feed, you can hear just fine. So if you're watching it, you can hear everything. But through the Discord voice itself, it cuts in and out constantly. It's tough to talk for a long period of time.
Yeah, and I think to a degree, part of that is probably the quantity of people that we have in there. I don't want to exclude anyone or anything, so I'm trying to open it up for everybody. But I think that Discord has a hard time when you have a large group. I'm not doing push to talk now. But of course, my audio and everything's different. So
it started messing up as soon as I came in.
It's all your fault, Kukui.
No, she's perfect.
No, not anyone can be in there. You have to have permission to even see the particular voice chat room. Someday, perhaps I'll let you in the chat. Maybe both of the coffees. Maybe we'll have all 3 of the coffees together.
Yeah, we'll just all start changing our name to Coffee because.
I'm actually curious now who the other coffee is.
Would the real coffee please stand up?
So we should all be coffee, kind of like we all put on the Panther mask.
Poor Beardo.
Coffee talk.
Oh man.
Call it Morning
I had to
Joe.
change my profile pic before I came to chat.
Yeah, at one point we had, who was in here? It was Amanda and somebody else was in here that had the Black Panther Civil War as their icon still.
I was at the beginning.
I had mine for a while.
That was Blur's, no?
Yeah, I changed mine back.
I did mine for a good 24 hours.
Yeah, I told them I would take. I told them I would do 24 hours.
Well, you didn't say from what time standing, like starting to stop. Poor guy. Poor Beardo.
He brought it upon himself. Don't poor Beardo.
Dude.
No.
He's already pulled 17 more 6-star champs. I don't know.
Far from poor.
I sent him a whole bunch of Funko Pops, you know. One of those fucking characters, just a whole box of them, just to keep reminding him.
I did have a plan. I just couldn't, find a mask, but I was going to go get a Black Panther mask and show up at my brother's house.
That is so cool.
Hey, everybody!
That would have been so awesome.
Didn't you used to have a Black Panther mask?
Wait until Halloween.
I have a Darth Maul.
I could have sworn that you had a Black Panther one that was a little kid's one.
No, it was Darth Maul.
Are you sure? I swear that you had a Black Panther one.
I don't know. Emily said no.
What was the mask that Logan used to... He was running around in a mask there.
It was Darth Maul. It was Darth Maul with the voice changer. And I used to go... the Bane thing. Born into it.
Born in the dark.
I was born into it. Molded by it.
Who is the real coffee? If you're the real coffee, then why can't I just block you from my chat? Let's see here. Put user in timeout. If you're the real coffee, how come I can put you in timeout? Answer me that, sir. I won't do that to you, Coffee Breath, because I already know who you are. I can provide screenshots and everything of you admitting it. Reveal yourself or continue to be placed in timeout. Someday I'll even have moderators who control things. Make Mad Titan my moderator. He's probably not even here anymore. He probably is the real coffee. I can't have Coffee Breath be one of my moderators. Do you think that RJ Solo is the real coffee? What leads you to believe that it's RJ? How do I take him out of timeout? This is why I need moderators. Probably have to do it from another screen. Let's see here. How do I take him out of timeout? I don't even know. Let's see here.
Keep having to go back out, come back in to just catch up to what is going on. What's out.
Indeed, I don't know how to untime out him. gotta be something
Alright, this
in these
thing's
settings.
just choppy as heck. I'm not able to really have a conversation
I lost
here,
voice
so
as well.
I'm out of here.
Okay.
And I will talk to you everybody later.
Bye,
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Good night,
Bye.
Bye.
So I will say, and no offense to any of your internet connections, I'm sure you all have excellent internet connections. That Discord,
I do not.
That Discord, the bit rate that you set it at, it does specifically state at a certain point that if you have the bit rate too high, that people with lesser connections will have problems hearing and whatnot. So if you don't have a good upload and download speed, that could be why you aren't hearing things very well. Cody is not too good. Too good was in the chat earlier today, though. Oh, we got champ window going on. Oh, that's a while ago. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know how to take my timeout. Hopefully, like, just like a regular timeout, it just kind of expires at a certain point. So yeah, I think that currently my plan here for the evening is I think that this will be the conclusion of this particular stream in regards to it being the summit, and then outrage, I'm back. And then I will start up another stream for just a regular nightly stream, and I'll go for another hour or whatever, do some arena grinding, some whatever other stuff, and that'll be that. So I would like to say that I appreciate everyone who has participated in the summits, on the calls, and given us their opinions and helped out with all this stuff. So hopefully down the road we can do some more things like this. I'm not sure exactly when or how we'll have a use for them necessarily, but yeah. And then also down the road, I'd like to invite people to come and maybe just hop in a voice Discord chat with me for running, when I run like Abyss or Labyrinth or whatever, because I have to do LOL 100% still, and Abyss and X6 and all that stuff. So Deckard's leaving you. It's gonna happen. It's okay. The garden is never forever. Alright, so thank you guys for being on the call. I'm gonna drop out of this. I will be resuming a normal stream shortly. I'm gonna go get something to drink, and then hopefully I see some, if not all of you over there. If I don't see you, have a good night, and make sure to enjoy some coffee in the morning.
Have a good night.